Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, I discovered something. Nobody's seen it. I seen it. BDF44 found something. Found another spot in San KD. Now, the key to this situation is this: you have to, if you're Brooklyn, in theory, value the players that you're bringing back to the degree that maybe the field would be willing to. Right? That's the key to all this, because if you ask for the wrong pieces, this thing is not going to get done. But if you ask for the right pieces, you can leave KD with enough to win and still bring back plenty. And I mean plenty. It's the Chicago Bulls. KD to Chicago works if you center it around either Nick Vucevic, Lonzo Ball. Maybe you slap them both together, send out picks. You can remove Ball or Vucevic, slot in a Patrick Williams, Alex Caruso. They have so many nice little contracts that you can slip in, 2-year deal, 3-year deals that you can slip in, coupled with the picks, obviously, because pick equity is going to be required, which I don't know if the Bulls are going to be willing to do. I like how they've moved in terms of having flexibility, so they may want to keep that. They may not be interested, but if you're the Brooklyn Nets, are a team to get on the phone with and see if they would be willing to kick the can. Why? Because you're talking about Kobe White's contract as well. $7 million you may be able to bring in. Patrick Williams, Kobe White, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso. You can give yourself a nice little team. Send KD to Chicago, and he still has Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan to play with. You see what I'm saying? You can get that done. That's it. I don't know if there's a player there who signed an extension. Maybe Lonzo Ball is the same situation as the Ben Simmons thing or what have you. Maybe that might be in the way, because there was a lot of names on that list, and I don't remember who all was on it. So that might be in the way. But if it is not in the way, that is a viable destination to send KD and get something back in return that should keep the Nets feeling good about themselves going forward. If you center it around Nick Vucevic, that's an all-star center. You know what I mean? He holds some resale value, which is essentially all it's about. You get somebody back that you can get something for if you decide to retrade them. So I look at Nick Vucevic as somebody I definitely can flip for something else. You know, if for some reason I need to do so, it's 6 months from now. It's not like I expect him to fall off a cliff on a Nets team where he's going to be featured. Also, I look at, if you want to go with Alonzo Ball, I personally think Lonzo Ball is a fantastic young player who's going to make a lot of people better. Never thought of a world where Lonzo Ball and Ben Simmons would be on the same team. But when you consider what they both do in terms of passing the rock, consider the fact that Lonzo Ball's reinvented his three-point shot, is probably going to shoot a career year from behind the arc, judging by how he's been going. I know the injury issues are this and that. I get it, because he's hardly ever on the floor. But if he can ever get it together, it's not like there's any floor that he's not going to assist with. He is going to be a dynamic player on both sides of the floor. And as he continues to put on strength, I think he's going to ascend to being probably one of the best point guards defensively in basketball if he can get his conditioning together. So, you know, he's gifted. He's a gifted player. We know that. And I think it's really intriguing given the fact that they're both so gifted defensively and pass the rock at such an incredible rate. So, you know, I wouldn't necessarily put them together for spacing, obviously. But like I said, I think Lonzo's worked out his three-point issues, and if that's the case, it's no longer a problem. So, yeah, that's intriguing if I'm Brooklyn. Bringing Lonzo here, bringing Lonzo to me and having Ben Simmons double attack on the defensive side, that can be devastating, and playmaking ability that would make anybody better. So that's interesting to me. Obviously, you bring in Patrick Williams if you can pry him away from Chicago. Kobe White, you got shooting there for those guys. To pass to. Obviously, some of the players that you're keeping already, Seth Curry, you love having multiple playmakers in place if you decide to go that route. So, you know, that's the point. You know, you can do a lot of things, or if you want to get greedy, you can ask them for DeMar DeRozan, but I doubt that the Chicago Bulls would go for that. The division for me would be Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, and I got to retain someone that can play a little more facilitating role for those guys. So I would want to keep either Caruso or Ball if possible. Ayo Dosunmu is still in place as well, so you love the fact that they still have that young player. If you haven't let him go, maybe you choose between him or Patrick Williams. Maybe you get to keep Lonzo Ball if you throw in both of them. There are a lot of different ways you can do it. Kobe White, again, at $7 million is probably nice as well. Now, of course, a couple of these guys I think are up for extension or something like that. So again, Brooklyn, whatever they're going to bring back, they're going to have to respect the fact that they're going to have to negotiate with those players. Chances are you're getting somebody expiring. If they're any good, they're probably going to be expiring soon in a trade like that. So that's just my guess. They're going to have to be ready to negotiate with somebody or let somebody walk, trade somebody at the deadline. However that goes, they will have their options. But I think Chicago makes a lot of sense, man. And judging by what I'd want to do for myself personally, if I'm the Bulls, if I'm the Nets, they got the pieces. They got the young talent. Make me feel real good about myself. Kobe White, Patrick Williams, Ayo Dosunmu. Maybe I try to take all three of those guys and then snatch up like Alex Caruso or Vucevic or something like that, and then just make that work that way. Take some picks too. KD should be happy. His timeline is intact. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are ecstatic because they're playing with Kevin Durant. They're not going to be guarded at all. I think they're going to probably be in the finals if you put that trio together, depending on how you put certain defenders around them, and again, getting that facilitating presence in place, because Zach ain't looking for nobody. I know that for a fact. He's still going to be looking for his own shot. So it's one of those situations where it's like the fit for me is fine. I would prefer Zach be on a contract like Lonzo and then trade Zach. That's me personally. That's how I would prefer it. I just have him valued that way. Not like the rest of the league sees Zach for some reason. I think he's a fantastic scoring player who can give you 40 and 50 and jack up about 8 and 9 3-point shots that'll go in. But aside from that, I just don't think he's going to make anybody better. I don't think guys can really flourish around him when he gets going, that kind of thing. I don't think he's particularly gifted defensively, so I don't see it, to be honest with you. I don't see it. I'm not going to lie. What I do see is somebody who can jump better than everybody else. One of the greatest leapers I've ever seen. But and a scorer that's really elite. Like, he's a truly elite scorer. Don't get it twisted. He's a great player for what it is he does. But I just think that, like Donovan Mitchell, he's one of those guys where it's like this offseason you can clearly see that value's a bit inflated. A bit inflated, to say the least, in my humble opinion. So take that for what it's worth. I would prefer for basketball fit to move him if I'm Chicago, but they just paid him, so I know they're not thinking that way. But yeah, that's how I would want to do it, honestly. I would replace KD with him, or him with KD, and that would make everything wonderful for the Bulls, in my opinion, because that would slot the guards back into a position to make a little more sense. You could move Patrick Williams to the 4 now. That's what I think the Bulls have needed the whole time, is to just decrease some of that guards. This situation. I was talking about it maybe 2 or 3 days ago. Just get some of them guards out of there so that your rotation can be smoother, in my opinion. And so maybe that's the move. Attach Lonzo Ball, picks, other stuff as well, those young guys, and you go get Kevin Durant, and you give yourself a chance to win now. I don't think he complains when he has guys like that next to him. In terms of it being a 4-year deal, I think he could, at the very least, he can go to Chicago and lets a year or two come off of that contract if he decides he just isn't happy. But the point is, you're giving him another trio from which to work, sort of like the ones he's been trying to get to in some ways, and enough talent around him to make him feel like, you know what, yeah, we can attack some people. Zach LaVine, myself, and DeMar DeRozan. DeMar's going to do a lot of the facilitating as well, by the way, when those guards are gone. But that would be a very, very interesting attack. Yeah, I think that's a very interesting attack. And it also brings the most out of Zach LaVine, because now you zero in on giving him more opportunities, believe it or not. And with KD down there drawing so much attention, you get a little bit of like that Golden State energy to a degree. And Steph Curry, Zach LaVine trying to spread the floor a little bit, get out in the open court, make things easy for himself, draw attention away from one another. DeMar DeRozan, of course, is going to draw attention, put pressure on the rim, and giving KD opportunities to attack from the perimeter and different things like that. So I kind of like the vision of those trio trying to make it work if DeMar DeRozan can kind of play point forward to get the ball to KD and of course to Zach LaVine. So yeah, it's good. It's really good, man. It doesn't look bad, you know. And if, like I said, if for some reason Chicago gets fed up, maybe they don't like how it looks. Now you got KD on tab to give you insurance for those other two. You want to move on from DeMar DeRozan? It's a lot easier to do that with KD next to him. You want to move on from Zach LaVine if you don't like that contract a year from now? It's very easy to do that when you got DeMar DeRozan and KD in place. You know what I mean? You can kind of see opportunities for them to feel happy about themselves as a contender in the East going forward. With the team they have right now, I just think they're a part of a very talented Eastern Conference. They don't stand above it or amongst the best teams right now. And with the salary they are paying, they should be. So that's pretty much how I look at Chicago. They're a great team to make moves to get better. And they should just, at this point, you've invested so much in Zach LaVine, mold the team to make more sense around him is probably the best way to go. Because right now, he has a lot of insurance, which is great, but the other aspects of the team are iffy, very iffy right now. So, yeah, that's the move in my mind. Gets rid of some guards and maybe replace Vucevic with a better big for what it is that you guys want to do, which is run with a faster pace. So that's what I see for Chicago, man. That's what I see for Chicago. So many options. Obviously, you're going to have to give up more picks than you want to, but I think they may be able to get rid of – they may be able to pull in KD without giving up as many picks as others because of how much talent they can give the Brooklyn Nets that's going to be able to get on the floor right now and help. Like, they really do have a fantastic war chest. So that's pretty much what I want to say, man. Just want to bring that to you guys. A lot of different ways to make it work. The numbers work a million different ways. That's the beautiful part about it. So that's what I want to say. Video 44. Thank you all for watching.